Uh, Hello children, welcome to the online class on YouTube channel DEO Nalgonda. Today we are going to learn about the human female reproductive system in 10th class English medium. The human female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of tubes called fallopian tubes, and a uterus and a vagina. These are the parts present in the female reproductive system: a pair of ovaries, a pair of fallopian tubes and uterus. Now, among all these parts, ovaries are the most important parts in the female reproductive system. So, ovaries are present in the abdominal cavity. Ovaries are present in the abdominal cavity, and the major function, the important function of the ovaries is to produce ova or eggs. Ovaries produce ova or eggs, and secondly, ovaries produce female hormones called estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen and progesterone. These two hormones are called female sex hormones. Female sex hormones are produced from the ovaries. So, as I told, ovaries are present in the abdominal cavity. From the ovaries, eggs are produced and also female sex hormones are produced. Eggs are otherwise called ova. It is the plural form of ovum. Ovum can also be generally called egg. Ovum or egg. The plural of ovum is ova or eggs. So, a pair of ovaries present in the abdominal cavity produce ova, that is the primary function, and secondly, the ovaries produce female sex hormone called estrogen and progesterone. So, briefly, estrogen is responsible for the development of female sexual characters in women. Estrogen is responsible for the development of female secondary sexual characters, and progesterone is responsible for the implantation of the embryo, or it is very helpful during the development of the embryo. So, these both hormones are called female sex hormones, and these are produced from the ovaries. So, as I told, ovaries are present in the abdominal cavity and they are two in number. That is why I am saying a pair of ovaries. A pair of ovaries is present in the abdominal cavity. So, the major function of the ovaries is to produce, the primary function is to produce ova or eggs. The secondary function is to produce female sex hormones. The female sex hormones are estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is responsible for the development of female secondary sexual characters, and progesterone is responsible for the development of embryo and implantation of the embryo. So, these two hormones are called female sex hormones and they are developed or produced from the ovaries. So, this is about the functions of the ovaries. Now, coming to the structure of the ovaries, each ovary has minute or very small structures inside it called follicles. Each ovary has a number of structures, minute or very small structures called follicles. These follicles are otherwise called Graafian follicles. They can also be called Graafian follicles. So, each Graafian follicle contains an egg or ovum. Do not get confused, ovum and ova are same, but ovum is a singular form and ova is a plural form. So, each Graafian follicle contains an ovum inside it. So, when the ovum matures or fully develops, the Graafian follicle ruptures at the border of the ovary, releasing egg into the body cavity. So, when the ovum fully develops inside the follicle ruptures at the border of the ovary, releasing the egg into the body cavity. So, the released egg is captured, the released egg is caught by the finger like structures present attached to the fallopian tubes. So, here you can see on either side of the uterus there is a pair of fallopian tubes. These fallopian tubes, they collect the released egg into them. The end of the fallopian tube is wide, it is broad, and this therefore this part is called a funnel. The end part of the fallopian tube is wide, very wide, and this part is called funnel. The funnel has many finger like projections called fimbriae. This word is not given in the textbook, you can take this word as an extra information, fimbriae. What are fimbriae? Fimbriae are the finger like projections or finger like structures present attached to the funnel of the fallopian tubes. So, the other name for fallopian tube is oviduct. Oviduct. Here you can see ovi, it stands for egg. Duct is the tube, means fallopian tubes, they carry the eggs and transport the eggs into the uterus. So, about the fallopian tubes, there is a pair of fallopian tubes present on either side of the uterus. The end part of the fallopian tube is very wide, it is broad, and which is called a funnel. Funnel contains finger like projections or structures called fimbriae. This is a very important word, and this word is not given in your textbook, you can learn this word. Fimbriae are the finger like projections present attached to the funnel of the fallopian tubes. Fallopian tubes are otherwise called oviducts because they carry eggs. Ovi stands for, it is related to egg. So, duct shows that it is a tube like structure. So, fallopian tubes carry eggs or ova through them, therefore, the name oviduct or fallopian tubes. So, when the Graafian follicle ruptures, the egg is released into the body cavity. So, to avoid the losing of the egg, the fallopian tubes, they grasp, they absorb they attract the egg and drag the egg into the tube. So, the tube gradually or slowly moves in the fallopian tube. So, it may be present in the left fallopian tube or it may be present in the right fallopian tube. If the right ovary releases the egg, then the right fallopian tube gathers the egg. If the left ovary releases the egg, then the left fallopian tube grabs or attracts the egg. So, while the egg travels in the fallopian tube, fertilization may occur. So, remember this important point, fertilization always takes place in the fallopian tube, not in the uterus. So, most of us think that fertilization takes place in the uterus, but it is not true. Fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube while it is traveling into the uterus. So, due to the wavy like motion of the fallopian tube, the egg slowly travels in the fallopian tube and ultimately reaches the uterus. In the course of its journey, if the egg meets sperm, then the fertilization takes place. So, according to the definition of fertilization, the union of male and female gametes is called fertilization. So, the female gamete is the egg and the male gamete in human beings is called sperm. So, egg and sperm combine to form a zygote. The structure formed after the fertilization of egg and sperm is called a zygote. This zygote, it develops into embryo, and this embryo in the future develops into an individual. So, this is how the process of reproduction takes place in the human beings. So, coming to the fallopian tubes, the egg that is drawn into the fallopian tube gradually travels along the tube and ultimately reaches the uterus. So, in case during the course of its journey, if the egg meets sperms, then there is a chance of fertilization, then the fertilization results in the formation of the zygote, right. So, when by the time the fertilized egg reaches the uterus, it forms into a solid ball like structure, because immediately after the formation of the zygote, it undergoes mitotic divisions. You know that mitotic division takes place immediately after the formation of the zygote to form an individual. So, by the time the zygote reaches the embryo, it forms into a solid ball like structure, right. So, coming to the uterus. So, this is a uterus present in the middle. On either side of the uterus, you have a pair of ovaries, a pair of fallopian tubes. So, uterus is a muscular inverted pear shaped structure. It is muscular, means it is made of muscles. It is highly muscular because it has to sustain, it has to support the developing embryo, therefore, it has many muscles. So, I can call it a muscular structure. Embryo is a muscular structure, thick muscular structure, and its shape is inverted pear shaped. You know, pear is a fruit, it is somehow like this. Pear is a fruit, it is like this. So, the shape of the uterus appears to be inverted pear shaped, it is like a inverted pear. So, the major features of the uterus are, first one, uterus is thick, it is muscular, and it is inverted pear shaped, it is inverted pear shaped. Now, the inner layer of the uterus is called endometrium. The inner layer of the uterus is called endometrium. So, the endometrium becomes thick before the menstruation. The endometrium becomes thick before the menstruation. So, if the fertilization does not take place, the endometrium separates from the uterus and is released out in the form of menstrual fluid along with a little amount of blood. Try to understand this. If the ova is not fertilized, or if the fertilization does not take place, the endometrium, what is endometrium? Endometrium is the inner layer of the ovary. The endometrium, if no fertilization takes place, separates from the uterus and sent out or expelled out along with a little amount of blood. So, that fluid is called menstrual fluid. That fluid is called menstrual fluid. In other case, if the fertilization takes place, the embryo gets attached to the wall of the uterus. The embryo gets attached to the wall of the uterus, This process is called implantation. The attachment of the zygote or embryo, I can call this embryo, to the walls of the uterus is called implantation. So, after implantation the endometrium becomes thicker, it becomes more thicker to sustain or to support the developing embryo, to sustain the developing embryo. So, after implantation the embryo gradually increases in size due to the mitotic divisions. So, I told you after the formation of the zygote it undergoes mitotic divisions till the individual completely forms, and in turn it takes place, I can say this mitosis takes place throughout the life of an individual, right. So, when the embryo gradually develops in the uterus, it develops 4 types of membranes. The embryo develops 4 types of membranes around it. These membranes, they provide nourishment, means they provide food and they protect the embryo. The membranes protect the embryo and they sustain or support the growing embryo. So, the floor layers around the embryo are chorion, amnion, allantois and yolk sac. So, again I repeat, so the developing embryo develops 4 membranes around it. These 4 membranes help the embryo in the nourishment. Nourishment is nothing but nutrition, or the procuring of nutrients is called nourishment or nutrition. So, these 4 layers give nourishment to the embryo, these 4 layers can protect the embryo from mechanical shocks, and these 4 layers can sustain and they can support the growing embryo. So, these are the 4 layers, they are namely chorion, amnion, allantois, yolk sac. So, I repeat, the growing embryo develops 4 membranes around it, they are chorion, amnion, allantois and yolk sac. What is the function of these 4 layers? They majorly they provide nourishment to the growing embryo, they protect the embryo and they sustain or support the growing embryo till the childbirth. So, children, this is about the female reproductive system in human beings. So, I recapitulate, the female reproductive system contains a pair of ovaries, 2 ovaries, a pair of fallopian tubes and one uterus. So, after the formation of the embryo, it develops in the uterus and the development of the human embryo can be learnt in the next class, children. Thank you for listening.